Welcome to Living Chassidus. Together, let's live the Chassidus we learn.
Morning, everybody. Welcome to Chassidus in the morning. 15 minutes. Change your life. Heichaltzu. Whoopa. Okay. So we've been getting into it with this mimer. Now I think it's getting into the, so to speak, the juicy bits. And we're discussing essentially that the best thing for us is to be connected with our friends and to be able to have true, honest, meaningful conversations. It really could help us and shape us and have that ability that we could really figure out what's going on and what we need to be working on. And that's what, good friends are for. They can tell you what it is. But the problem is, because of this basis hatred, so it's hard for us to listen to anyone, to discuss with anyone, talk to anyone. Whether it's discussing and we'll talk about this a little bit today, maybe a little later, that when we discuss, like, because we can't have proper conversations, so then the whole thing, the whole breakdown. But really I want to focus on the fact, I think, like, it's in realization, I was thinking about this very much in connection with shidduchim. Like, I don't know about the women's side as much as the men's side, but I know for like the men's, like, and when I want to speak to people and discuss with them, like ideas or ways to look at coming to shidduchim, it's a very hard conversation to have. And maybe it's I don't know, maybe it's the way I'm approaching it, but they don't want to listen. They don't want to hear it, and really we have to appreciate the ability someone has to tell you. The Sheikh yesterday told me something, like, sort of, it wasn't telling me off, but it was just telling me something that I need to know. And I said to him, thank you very much for like informing me. And I could have been offended if I had yeshus, or lack of bittul, which maybe in the past I did, not in an ego way, but in an unhealthy sort of way. It would have been very hard on me to take. But now I appreciate him telling me, like, I become wiser. That's what we're talking about. The ability that we want to build relationships with people and even tell them, please, like my father, when I was growing up, I wasn't so religious. And my father said to me, he goes, if you ever see me do anything that I shouldn't be doing, like that's wrong, just tell me. I want to know. Like I want to know that I've nothing, I don't, it's irrelevant. A lot of times it's like, who are you to tell me what to do? Look what you're doing. But he was the opposite. And this is, I think, this level of bittul. That's what we're talking about. So we're in the middle of page 77. So he says, it's a beautiful part. We'll go from the top. So what happens once you talk about something, when you talk about an issue out loud? So when you talk to a friend, it already diminishes it, and your taiva for it goes away. Because a lot of the times the taiva that we have is because we don't speak it out. Well, in our heads, but when you talk about it, it's like, so let's say someone has a taiva for eating a whole cheesecake, let's say. And they would never tell people that. And if they would, it'd be so embarrassing. They wouldn't talk that way. And we all have like taivas that sort of, maybe it's embarrassing, but we don't talk to anyone about it, so we can sort of get away with it. But if we would have the ability to be able to talk to people, it would make such a difference. And you become much more refined. What's the thing that says that where we hide, and we say no one's going to know. But if we could imagine everyone would know everything, so we would behave much differently. This is the idea of video, of saying things, and that's true tshuva. It's a very good way of refining yourself and fixing yourself. When you speak about it, it suddenly makes a really big difference. It's really on the pneumis nafshe. It really hits the core, the inner part of your soul. That makes you feel really bad, and that makes you to have remorse. But dugma lezeh, so an example of this, like it says, hu mashakasu, like it says, and daiga, v'lev ish esichenu. So the pasuk says you have a war in your heart, so you should esichenu. So it means literally you should turn yourself aside, turn your attention. But it says in the Gemara, v'amar azal esichenu lacherim. Not you should turn yourself aside, but you should speak it with someone else. You have a worry, and this is a very good practical thing that when you have a worry, the best you can do is speak about it. But once you speak about it, you clarify it. And a lot of issues that we have is because we don't speak it out. Like say, write things down. Like when worry, something's not working, or it's something it's bothering me. I'm nervous. Write it down. Speak to someone. And once you do it, and instead of really saying you speak to someone, it makes it better. And he explains. So we see. So when you speak about the situation, the pain, the painful situation, zigdal taroy. So then it becomes worse because you're speaking about it. Before you spoke about it, that's why we're scared to speak about it. But it's better, becomes better. So, and this is sort of, that's why a lot of times we don't want to speak about it because it's uncomfortable. But once you do speak about it, once you let it out, you feel much better. And this is a very important, Michal talks about this with like Rabbi Weiss. When you talk how you feel and you try to make the person feel understood, it's uncomfortable to speak it out because it's the way you feel and it's uncomfortable. Once you speak, it's uncomfortable to start the conversation, but once you have the conversation, when you finish, you feel so much better. And so too, when you're stressed, and you speak about it with someone, you say, I need someone to speak to about it. You speak to them, afterwards, it helps so much more. And this is a very important point in general, especially for single people that they don't have, let's say, a partner, so they don't think about having a friend, but have a friend that way, like someone that you can, good, close relationship, like friendship, that you can speak to about things. And this is sort of like a mashpia as well. And these ideas, and just speaking about it, being in your head is not a healthy thing. Being able to speak about it. And I see this, for bringings a lot of times, single people, I hear them like what they're going through, and it's hard. It's hard being by yourself. You don't know what to talk to them. But when you do, and this is what he's saying, you have to find friends you can speak to, that you can open up to, you can be honest with, and that make a very big difference. Also, when you're talking about it in terms of Veda, things that you're not doing well, that you're in a fault you want to work on. At the time of speaking about it, it's hard. It's hard to speak about something that you're doing wrong, especially to someone that you respect, or a friend of yours that you want them to think of you in a certain way. But in the end, you'll always feel better in the end. You'll have clarity and you'll see they don't judge you and they like you and they're good. And this is important to try to build friendships. This is true friendship, by the way. Like, friends not just hanging out with someone, but it's being able to have true, meaningful conversations and being able to open up yourself, vulnerable to things, issues that you need to work on, and knowing that your friend is going to be there for you and listen to you and not judge you and help you go through it and have accountability and things like this. And if we do that, our lives will be so much better. Because when we do this, it removes a lot of the sins and a lot of the flaws that we have. So by speaking it out to someone, this is a beautiful, easy thing to do. It's hard to do, but I'm saying easier. If you push yourself to do it, the results are beautiful. So and furthermore, when we speak together, so also, when you do it this way, besides the fact that in the end you feel better and you have more clarity and you help work on yourself, you also have someone else that can help you. Meaning, like I said in Ayim Yom, that when two people come together, it becomes two nefesh elokis, one nefesh bahamas. So if you have an issue and you have someone else, you both nefesh elokis working together versus nefesh bahamas. That's what he's saying. When you have someone else you speak to, the person is going to listen to you, going to understand you, make you feel understood, and you realize and you'll feel that they can also come and help you with ideas of how to help yourself, because they live a different life than you, and we're stuck in ourselves. It's hard to see the solutions, but they will help you. And they make it a joint resolve. How we're going to fix it for the future. The sakin ma'isem to fix what they're doing should be, this way. After you feel understood, or you do to someone else and you make them feel understood, you can say, hey, have you tried doing this? Or you tried doing that? And that could make a very big difference for them. When you do this with people, someone else besides yourself, for ourselves, we all want to be good people and do the right things and everything. But it's hard comes and it's hard. But when you speak to someone else about it, you have accountability partner. It's much greater. It has much more of an ability to last when you make it with someone else, like having a chavrusa. You have an obligation to get up and to be there and to be with them. Versus by myself, I want to learn, I want to daven, I want to do exercise, I want to eat healthy, I want to go on time, but there's no accountability to my. I'm not. It's very hard to be accountable to yourself, whereas having someone else makes it much better. So v'nimtzas, what comes out of this? It's what we're seeing here in many different ways. Connecting with someone in terms of helping you in avodah is great. It's a great idea. It's a great thing to happen. But how's it going to work? It's only because it's a bittul thing. You have to be willing to put yourself to connect with your nefesh kiss, and not your nefesh Bahamas. Nefesh Bahamas doesn't like it. If he's feeling uncomfortable and doesn't like being vulnerable and things like this. The nefesh kiss, he wants to join with someone else, like we talked about before. That when the nefesh by bittul, you have space for everyone. So when you have bittul, I have space for another person's ideas, another person's comments. And of course, that other person, it doesn't mean you have to just put yourself out there for people that you can't trust. You have to trust them. But the bittul is the appreciation that I could gain so much more with my connection to God and my connection to the Rebbe and to my nefesh kiss by doing this. And I'm happy to do this. And then my life will be so much better. And as we see here clearly, that the bittul is not about losing yourself, but it's about gaining yourself. It's being the true you, having the ability to do the right things that you want to do, and being able to have the ability to do it. When we think about it, we all can find people, friends, we have to talk to that. And this is what a true Farbrengen is. To come and sit there with your friends and talk about how you can serve God better and why it's not working. And having good friendship like this takes a bittul, but we can all do it together, and your life will be so much better, and your Farbrengen will be so much more meaningful. It's not just when we just stories and Vertelach, it'll be this is real avodah. Speak to friends about your flaws and how you can work on them. You want to work on them, and having good friends that you can actually talk to about this. Because unfortunately, what normally happens when we do this, and especially if we don't do it like we don't have that do it properly, and your friends are not proper like kalim for it, so everyone gets uncomfortable. Why are you telling me your problems? I don't want to hear it. I don't know what to do with it. But if you have good friends, good friendship that you build, and and you can build it together, so then you can do this. It's amazing. But this all works with your bittul. We connect with our friends, with the next person. But when it doesn't come from the bittul, but it comes from the yesh, then you can't reveal anything to your friends. Because you think the other person is, who is he going to tell me what to do? He's a nobody, doesn't know anything. She doesn't know anything. Like, I'm going to listen to her. Like, I'm going to tell her and she's going to help me. Like, doesn't make any sense. Him gain. How am I going to reveal my issues to this person and how they're going to help me? It's a waste of time. I'm not going to do that. How is this person going to benefit me in any way? And that's one thought we have. But the truth is, it's not because they can't help you necessarily, but it's because we can't connect with the person. We can't connect because it's coming from Yeshus. Like we said before, the room has 100% and I'm filling it, so they taking away automatically. It's uncomfortable. Hey, basic we'll stop here. We just don't want to go too late, so we'll stop here and we'll continue it tomorrow because he talks about it in both levels. But it's a good opportunity to think about friendship and how is our friendships going, and are they as meaningful and as impactful as they are, or just meaningless, not chas v'shalom, or they're not as powerful as it could be. And a good true friendship is people you can have good relations like this, and you can talk to people, and you can sit down and have Farbrengen and say, hey, I want my life to be better. I want to be moving in a better direction. Can we discuss this? And you're not coming to vomit all your problems on someone, but you're coming to connect and realize the benefit of having good friends and also having the ability to come from the bittul, so you can do this. We continue tomorrow.